It's very strategic, and there's all these transitions, and it's very technical in terms of like being able to execute a high-level throw on someone who's also an expert in high-level throws. It's amazing, but it's also very hard. Like, they're strong as shit. It's not, you know, like I've only rolled with a few like really good judo guys ever, and it's like rolling with a chimpanzee. They're too strong.
Yeah.
Like wrestlers, judo guys, you guys are too fucking strong. Oh, we were still going over this list. That's how good this marijuana is. I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, you can go tree climbing. Go climb a tree, you fuck.
I did. I did the other day. I climbed a tree.
Hey,
I
Tony,
got excited.
Good news. You can wash your car. The government thinks it's okay for you to wash your car.
Wow. Oh, you can walk the dog.
Yay. I didn't know I could walk the dog. I just been letting him shit in my mouth for 2 months. You can watch the sunrise or the sunset.
Wow, both of them?
Yeah.
We're so lucky.
You can do yoga.
My goodness.
How about just let us be responsible?
Silly list.
Just, you know, that list is silly. Just, first of all, that's a first draft. Edit. Take out sunrise and sunset. That's a big duh. You know, take out all the does. You like writing lists. Anybody who writes a list like that?
Yeah.
How come?
Sweden's looking at that list and laughing all the way to the bank, literally.
Answer me this. How come you can play badminton? Like when you play in badminton, sometimes you're like right up on each other. Yeah. Aren't you? It's not that far away.
You can get close, I think. Right?
No, you don't, right? You'd be at a distance.
No.
Do you spike it?
It did say volleyball was on the list, and they're spiking a volleyball.
Oh, well, volleyball, it has to be singles. It has to be one. I think they said singles.
I don't know how you can play singles volleyball.
Here's the thing. You're still touching this ball. So it's just like touching someone's hands. It's the same thing. If you have this and it's on the ball, it's going to get on the ball. When the person catches the ball, it's going to get on their hands. They're going to touch their eyes. And they're going to throw the ball again. And you're going to do this for hours. You're going to get each other's cooties. You might as well just make out.
For sure.
You might as well just
Plus their sweat.
Yeah, their sweat. You're breathing hard. You definitely get close to each other when you get real close to them. If you're like, I've seen dudes kiss. They jumped up, and as they were...
That's one of the main moves in volleyball.
They give each other a kiss,
yeah,
and they try to swat that ball down. I mean, they might as well be kissing.
That's how you start the game in West Hollywood.
That would be a great way to fuck with your opponent.
Yeah.
As he's reaching up to get that ball, you give him a smoocher right on the lips, and like in a movie, you guys peek up together. And imagine if that's all it took to turn you gay. If there was a move.
Top Gun, wasn't there like a scene in Top Gun where fucking volleyball?
But imagine if like a guy could make you gay. If there was a thing, you know, like how weird is it that you can get knocked out?
Yeah.
Getting knocked out is crazy. The idea that you just get smacked on the face and you go unconscious and everything just shuts off.
That would be hilarious.
Imagine if there was like a button that you had. Like if someone touched a button, like right on your taint. It's like a reset button on a electrical outlet. And the circuit blows. He's gonna push it back in. Pop.
Oh my god.
But that volleyball scene, isn't there a thing where Quentin Tarantino breaks down how gay this movie is?
That's what I thought of it. Speaking of Tom Cruise,
like a video of it, right?
He's gonna make a movie in space.
Of course he's gonna make a movie in space. He's Tom fucking Cruise. Yeah, this is if I was into gay men, this would be awesome. Right? If you're a gay guy and you're like, damn, look at these guys. This is a movie for you. If you look at it that way. Well, also, they slide into the sand, and then miraculously, right after they slide into the sand, they are clean and shiny with glistening sweat and no sand on them.
He just did the sand. He just dove.
But watch, they hit the sand all the time, but there's no sand on them. Instead, they're perfectly glistening.
It's magic sand.
This is a weird...
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever really watched Top Gun the whole way through.
Hold on, back that up. Why does Tom Cruise walk like that? Back that up. Back that up. Watch this walk. Here we go. That's very odd. That's an odd walk. Maybe he hurt himself out there.
Volleyball injury.
Bro, he does all his own stunts too. Like motorcycle stunts. Like he's probably hurt all the time.
He jumped out of a. I watched the video. They have video of him being videoed while jumping out of that plane in Mission Impossible.
Yeah. What is
Nuts.
that? What is that?
Nuts.
The video of him hanging on the plane. What is he doing there? Is he attached by a latch or something? Have you seen that shit? Like, there's a video of him, and supposedly it's actual video of him hanging from the side of the plane. He doesn't get enough credit for this. He's a goddamn maniac. Look, he's giving them the thumbs up, and so this fucking plane takes off, dude, and he's actually hanging off the edge of this. Look at this. Watch. He lets his legs go and everything. This is nuts, man. Look at this.
It's the raw footage from the camera.
This is insane. So he's really letting this plane take him in the air, and he's hanging on from the power of L. Ron Hubbard. Look at this.
No, there it is. You can see it.
What are you seeing?
There's a thing right there. You see that rope?
But
The
that's
rope.
That's all
look.
that's hanging.
Oh yeah,
No,
the rope
look.
is connecting him.
Yep.
Yeah, but still, that's
Oh yeah,
him.
that's nuts. That's crazy.
I'm not saying this is the only thing keeping him up there. I'm saying, what the fuck, man?
That's
What
crazy.
the fuck, man? He's strapped to the side of a plane, and he's Tom Cruise. He's like a huge movie star. I'm like, what kind of insurance policy was involved in this scene?
When he broke his ankle, they stopped for like 6 weeks, I think.
Bro, if I was the director, I'd say, look, we're going to shoot this scene last. I would write in fake endings to the movie where Tom Cruise's character dies and then his sister comes in. I would have Scarlett Johansson on standby, ready to come avenge Tom Cruise, because we see him fly off the back of that plane. And that would be a real controversy thing. Like, should we actually show him falling off the plane to his death? And they'd be like, look, Tom would want us to.
Yeah.
And so they leave it in there. And we all get to watch like a Tom Cruise snuff film.
I'd love that. We would love that. People love that.
The thing is, people would. I would watch it. I don't want it to happen, but I would if I knew there was a video of Tom Cruise dying because he fell off the side of a plane. How do you not watch that? Right?
Yeah.
How do you not watch that?
I mean, look at when Heath Ledger died, basically from playing the Joker. That whole time he's on the pills and everything. He can't sleep. Everybody went and watched that.
Is that why he died? You think? Like he got addicted to pills because of the Joker?
Well, no, he just wasn't sleeping. He wasn't taking care of himself through the entire filming of that movie.
Oh.
They didn't even finish it, right? I don't think so. I think he died right at the end of filming.
Oh.
Not positive on that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I feel like he died during the process, right?
Yeah.
That was a bummer, man. That guy can act his ass off. You gotta assume, though, I always do, when someone's that good at something, they're probably just really chaotic.
Yeah.
You know, mentally chaotic. And some of those people just need to calm that fucking demon down.
Yeah.
He was filming a different movie. They had just finished that, The Dark Knight. The
Oh,
Imaginary.
okay. So he was done, and he was on to the next thing. Like John Belushi, right? Here's another one. Like, you see that guy? Like he was so ferocious in some of his characters. You know, he was so wild. Like, there must have been demons. Just demons.
I'll name another one right now. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, he's
my
brilliant.
God!
Brilliant.
I just watched one I hadn't seen with him. Nuts, man. Done
That
by
was
the.
so good.
He did one with the guy that made There Will Be Blood. That director. I can't remember the name of it.
He's in those Hunger Games, right?
Yeah, but I'm not.
Dude, he's good in those.
Yeah.
I know those movies are silly.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's a freak.
He was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an impressive list. If you look at the movies that he's done, you go over it and you go, oh, wow, I forgot about that one. I forgot about that one.
Yeah. And he makes even the ones that look like they'd be lame. I went down, this was when the quarantine started. This is one of the big rabbit holes I went down, was a Philip Seymour Hoffman one. And even the movies that look like they wouldn't be great are great. There's a few actors that really, I think, read the scripts that they're offered and have a real take on them. Then they make everything good. That Ben Mendelsohn guy, I don't know if you've ever saw Bloodline, but he's another one of those.
Is he that guy that was in 30 Days of Nights? There's a guy who's in 30 Days of Nights, which is a really fun vampire movie while you're quarantined. Good fuck. Have you seen it?
No.
No, he's the guy from The Outsider.
Oh,
The cop.
okay. The cop from The Outsider. Show me. Oh, that guy's amazing.
You can look up anything he's done. It's unbelievable.
Australian too.
Yeah, he was in Ready Player One. He was the bad guy. Remember? He was great in that.
He's an unbelievable bad guy.
He's so good as the cop in The Outsider.
Mm-hmm.
The Outsider is really fun. I really enjoyed that. I hope they make a part 2 of that. That was creepy as fuck. And that woman who played the savant, she played the sort of autistic savant. That lady was amazing. She was so good. Like that whole cast. The guy who is her boyfriend in that, who was also from House of Cards.
Yeah.
That guy's amazing.
Yeah.
So that was a great little fun supernatural series.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Incredible.
That lady who played the autistic one, like, I wonder what she's like in real life because she's so good.
Completely different. I actually found this out because I was.
What is her name?
I forget who's right.
Let's find out.
She played
the
Rosa
cat.
Parks and like sung at the Oscars too.
She's amazing. She played it perfect. Like, that's a weird read to play a super genius who's on the spectrum. You know, that's a weird read, but but also relatable and really likable. She just figured out the perfect frequency. You know how some people can play a psycho and you're like, God damn, that seems psycho. Like the old lady on Ozark, the old lady who grows the heroin.
Oh my god.
Holy shit, is she good. Holy shit, is that lady good. Who is that lady?
Unbelievable.
She's amazing. She scares the fuck out of me. She scares the fuck out of me.
Cynthia Erivo, I believe is how you say that.
So Cynthia Erivo is the woman who plays the autistic lady on The Outsider. Who is the lady now that plays the heroin lady in Ozark? That lady is scary, man. She's fucking terrifying. She's for sure the most terrifying person in a show filled with terrifying people. She scares me more than the Navarro guy does.
Yeah. Oh, she's completely
She's so
crazy.
scary, dude.
She killed her own husband.
I know, but she's so believable. That
Yeah.
lady who's the actress is fucking brilliant. What is her name? Just go to cast.
That scene with when she started banging the kid reminded me of remember the scene in Kingpin where he has to have sex with the neighbor?
She plays Darlene. That's her name, right? Isn't it Darlene?
Yeah. Right?
Yes, that's the lady.
the-
Lisa Emery.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dude, she's
Yeah.
incredible. She's so scary.
Yeah.
She's so scary on that show. And the other woman, the lawyer woman, she scares the fuck out of me too. Helen. God damn it, who's that lady? That lady's amazing as well.
Janet McTeer.
She's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like they steal the show. That's one of the interesting things about Ozark is you want to talk about a show that's like an equal opportunity show. It's a terrifying show, and the two scariest characters are women.
Yeah. Mind-boggling.
It's a great show. It's
One of
so
my favorites.
Good.
And
Dude,
it's
so
funny
good.
because, it's written and directed by Jason Bateman. And when I first visited California the first time, I just graduated high school and I was out here visiting my brother. And we got lost. We were in this SUV and we got lost going around the Hollywood Hills. And at one point, my brother stops to ask for directions. Somehow we got lost. Like, it's like looking back on it, it's like you just go down the hill, right? But we didn't know what side we were on. Anyway, he stops to ask this guy that's walking on the side of the street, who's clearly on the cell phone, which way to get back down. He's like, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me." And this guy turns around, and it was Jason Bateman. And
Whoa.
Jason Bateman's on his phone, and he looks back at my brother, and he goes like, he's looking at my brother like, "Can't you see?" Like, he didn't say a word, but he looks at his phone like, "Can't you see I'm on the phone? Like, what are you, an idiot?" And but he didn't say anything. He just looked at his phone and looked at us like that, and kept walking. Went back on his phone call. So after that, I'm like, you know what? Screw that Jason Bateman guy. Like, I didn't really find none of that one sitcom he was on never really connected with me or whatever. And so I always thought I was anti-Jason Bateman. And then here we are, so much later, almost 20 years later. And I realized that day that we were the assholes stopping. Of course we saw that he was on the phone. In retrospect, if anybody did that to me or anyone I know, we would do the same. Can't you see him on the phone?
It looks like Sebastian.
Exactly.
Oh, you got to pull up this video from Sebastian's Instagram. He's walking, and these people are walking up the hill behind him with water bottles on their heads. It is the most Sebastian thing you'll ever see in your life. It's brilliant. This is like if someone wanted to say like, "Hey, that's Sebastian. He's really funny, right? What's his comedy like?" Like, watch this video. It is what? Look at it. Give me some volume. Give me some volume. Look at this.
Bother me.
Look at this.
Oh, are you walking with bottles on your head? You bother me.
See, that is so simple. He's laughing while he's saying it. It's 100% his personality. You bother me.
Oh, God.
He kills me harder than almost anybody in the world.
He's very funny in a very unique way. He's very funny in his own way. Like, he's like Theo in a lot of ways. Like, if someone said, like, how do you describe Theo's comedy? I'm like, he's Theo Vaughn. He's just he knows how to be Theo Vaughn, and it's amazing. And Sebastian is real similar in that way. He knows how to be Sebastian. He's got that. He just is himself, and it just, it works. You couldn't write it down on paper. That's one of the weirder things about comedy.
Yeah.
Like some of those people that are like that, like Harlan Williams. Tell me what that is. Explain that to me.
Yeah.
You can't explain it. You just got to see it, and then you'll be laughing. Hey there, butternuts, flapjacks, peachy pie. And you're like, what the fuck? Like,
I get
Harlan
nervous
Williams.
around Sebastian. He's one of the only people. I'm more comfortable around Chappelle than I am around Sebastian. Like, it's literally, there's just something about his entire aura. Like, I'm always afraid I'm going to say something or do something stupid or trip.
What?
Yeah.
You worried about that comedic observation? What?
Yeah.
What the?
He's so fucking funny to me. I think I was
Such a nice guy too. Like just such a sweetheart of a guy. Always has been. Always been a nice guy. Always hustled.
That Italian, like those Italian stories and delivery hit me. It's like I almost feel like I'm related to him, and he's just this funny guy.
Did I tell you what happened with his cousin? Dude. So somebody tells me, hey, I heard Sebastian's house got robbed. And I'm like, what? So I text him. And he said, no, it's actually my cousin. He has the exact same name as me. And two guys broke into his house, and he fought one of them on a security camera and then went inside and shot the other one. Killed the guy. Oh. Yeah, the guy pulled a gun on him in his fucking house. And so he, the guy who he beat up gets charged for murder. Wow. Because when you commit a crime and it causes someone to die, you get charged for the actual death. Isn't that crazy? Wow. Cousin of comic Sebastian Maniscalco, and there's video of these guys breaking into his door. It's really crazy. Like you can see the video of he comes storming out with the guy and he's fighting with this home invader guy. And meanwhile, there's another guy inside his house with his family. So here he is. He's fighting with this guy. He's got no shoes on, right? So that looks like he has no shoes on, right?
Right.
He's just beating the fuck out of this guy. And apparently, he practices martial arts. He's a big look-see-do practitioner.
Yeah. It's not the
So
Tai Chi.
then he goes inside. He beats the fuck out of that guy. That guy runs off. He goes inside, and then he kills a guy. I believe he took the guy's gun from him and shot him. I think that's what happened. I'm not sure, though. So I believe somebody told me that. How did the guy die? See if we can find it.
Did they think that it was Sebastian Maniscalco?
Well, somebody did. That's why they contacted me and they said, hey, Sebastian's house got broken into. I was like, what? So I called him. I texted him. The whole thing's really crazy, though. Okay. He followed the wife and the two children up to the second floor bedroom with his gun drawn. Prosecutor said the bad guy, Brodax, broke through the bedroom door, pushed the children onto the bed, and pointed the gun at Maniscalco's wife as she begged him not to shoot. Prosecutor said After Maniscalco chased off the first guy, Fanan, he retrieved his own gun and fatally shot Broadsax in the abdomen. Wow. Jesus Christ. So the guy had a gun pointed at his family. And he used his own gun.
Oh yeah, it's in Illinois, so that's where he's originally from. They must have thought it was actually Sebastian Maniscalco, the comedian.
So the other guy's been captured and faces murder charges under an Illinois statute that allows for such crimes to be leveled against suspects if they take part in a felony offense that leads to another person's death.
Man.
Oof.
Crazy.
Fuck, man. You know, and that's why people have guns. You know, and nobody wants to hear that story. You don't want to hear that story because that story's a pro-gun story. You know, it's anti-gun because someone tried to rob the guy's house with a gun, but it's pro-gun in if he didn't have a gun, what would have happened?
You saw that.
Yeah, it's anti-gun because someone used a gun in a robbery. But it's pro, if he didn't have a gun, maybe his family would be dead. Do you see? You have to be able to see both sides. Because the gun control argument is such a weird one. People, like, they dig heels in. Left people dig on this side. They have, like, a set of beliefs that you're allowed to have. And then the people on the right dig on another side. You know, the Second Amendment is right. It's not a privilege. You know, we own this, and this is...
And the media definitely doesn't cover it when it goes right.
No.
With guns.
They did here because it's Sebastian's cousin.
Right.
But it's not like... If it went the other way, you know, if some people got shot to death inside their home, it would be an anti-gun argument. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Because if you have a gun like he did, the people broke into his house and he was able to protect his family. That's the best case scenario for gun ownership. Well, the best case scenario is never having to use it. And the next best is being able to use it to protect your family, because that's what it's there for. So it's actually a pro-gun story. It's an anti-gun. It would be an anti-gun story if he didn't have a gun. That's what's crazy. If he didn't have a gun and the guy shot his family, it would be an anti-gun story. But because he had a gun, it's a pro-gun story. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So
You saw the one with the church where the guy went in for like a mass shooting, and the guy standing against the back wall of the church had a gun too, and just got him right away.
Yeah, an armed, trained man with a gun. I know a guy in Vegas. He got carjacked recently, and he's like a competitive shooter. I mean, he has videos of him practicing shooting with pistols. A marksman, incredible fast draw, and he killed this guy in a gunfight. Like, that's a pro-gun story. A guy pulled a gun on him, and he could have lost his life. Instead, he survived because he had a gun. It's one of those things. Guns are like one of those things, like being a person. Being a person's weird. It's all sorts. It's not clear. We're not numbers, right? This is all. It fluctuates. What we are, the way we live fluctuates. Right now, things are weird. Almost all of our decisions that we have to make about everything are like, well, if we just open up the country, we're going to lose a lot of people. You know, we should maybe hold it back. And then the other argument, if we don't open up the country, we're going to lose a lot of people. So what are we going to do? We're going to let the people die because of despair and homelessness and suicide, drug addiction, because they've lost everything. There's going to be those too. Like, it's like everything else, man. Like all things involving people are like, it's like, oh, well, there's this and there's that. There's a lot of stuff like this that people want to have like a definitive answer. Like, you know, are we waiting too long to open up? Or is Florida jumping in too quick? Who's right? Who's wrong? We don't fucking know.
Yeah.
These are educated guesses. But it's just one of those things, like being a person. When things get started up again and no one knows what the future is going to be, there's just a lot of predicting. We're not right all the time. You know?
It's just especially scary because the news is so picky and choosy and weird about how they're covering things. It seems like it's almost all bad news now on the cable news programs.
Yeah.
And
well, that's where they get the most money. It's like they're being rewarded for it. But I mean, I understand from their perspective is that they only have an hour and there's a lot of fucking bad news. You know, when you're getting all the bad news from 7 billion people plus around the world, a lot of it's going to suck. You only have an hour. Things are happening 24 hours a day. The news itself as like a show is really preposterous.
yeah.
Like, oh, we're going to condense it all into an hour. But isn't it the real stuff that's happening? How can it be condensed at all? And do you have to do that anymore? Do you know? Like when this guy has this show and that guy has that show and the show goes for an hour and they're going to cover these details and show you what went wrong. Like there's so many things that went wrong.
Yeah.
If you just want to concentrate on things that went wrong, you could do it 24 hours a day and never run out of material. But you got to almost kind of, is that the world? Is it things that went wrong? Is that the world? Or is the world like a lot of shit that went right? Like when we're hearing the news, all they really want to discuss is the things that are going to freak you the fuck out. There's not a whole lot dedicated to making you feel good about our prospects, right? There's not a whole lot. There's like, it does control a lot of how the people who watch it think about things because they're really influential. They're wearing makeup. There's a spotlight on them.
And it says news, and it has a ticker.
Yeah.
And we're meant to believe that we can trust them.
Good Lord. It's hard to trust anybody. It's hard to trust anybody when things are weird. You know, you don't know who's telling the truth. Like, oh my God, there's so many different things that are going on all at once right now, right? They're trying to figure out if the disease came from a lab. You know, did they accidentally release this thing? China's mad at us, and we're mad at China, and all these countries are going to sue China. Like, there's so many things that are bouncing around in sort of the global consciousness that you have to pay attention to. I heard Kim Jong-un was sick. Oh my God, he might die. They flew in Chinese doctor. His sister might take over. Ooh. And then we got to pay attention to the sister. She looks mean, man.
Yeah.
The sister looks mean. Like that kind of stuff is if you absorb what's in the media, that kind of stuff will literally change the way you view the world, and that will change the way you act in the world, and that will literally make things suck. It'll make things suck more if you go out and only concentrate on things that are terrible.
Another show that's up there with Ozarks for me now is Succession, and that is about a very rich family that owns their own cable news channel.
Oh God.
And very, very interesting to see from that perspective. Not to say that it's completely accurate, but I mean, they have control. If they want something promoted or left out, it's just that easy. Like you said, they're smashing it all into an hour, even though it keeps running, but like an hour program. It's so easy just to decide what you leave out. Does so much for something or a story or a product or a stock or anything that you invest in or own yourself or anything like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, Succession's a really great one for sort of, it's almost like a House of Cards-esque view, how they let you into the presidency, they let you into a cable news network. Like they had that one with Jeff Daniels, the newsroom or whatever, but that was sort of janky.
Oh yeah, that was the one where he would go on these rants.
Yeah.
They're pretty good, but a guy who rants that well all the time, I'm like, hey bro, you planning this?
Right.
Like, what kind of human being do you want to hear go on these perfectly worded rants all the time? You know? Wasn't that weird? Like, that was his thing. Like, that was his soft kung fu. His soft martial art was these rants. He would bust them out like Tai Chi in the park. And you'd be like, come on, no one talks like this. You have conversations with people. You don't just go on these crazy rants. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting that they'll try that with a character? When a guy's really good at rants, like, you should just do this all the time. Like, every movie with Al Pacino has to have some kind of rant. Right? Always. That's part of who he is.
Yeah.
He's the guy that has a monologue where everybody's standing around going, and then he'll start yelling at you.
You ever
He's
seen
the devil or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say the Devil's Advocate's the best one of that because he literally just gets crazier and crazier.
I wish we
until
could
he's
play
Satan.
it. I wish we could play it. Yeah. He was a fucking wizard, man. Who was better in his prime than Al Pacino? Think about Scarface. God damn.
Yeah. Have you seen The Irishman?
Ooh. No, I haven't seen it yet.
Dude, it got rough reviews, but I loved it, man. I was shocked because I had super low expectations. I actually put it on thinking I was going to like fall asleep or something. It was one of those where I'm like, I'm just going to throw this on. I heard
like
it wasn't that
3 hour,
great. Oh, and I was up the whole time. I was
Really?
amped, dude. If you love Martin Scorsese, you're going to love this movie. It's like Scorsese doing his, it's just great. Plus Sebastian's in it. Al Pacino destroys.
Is that Jerry
I mean,
Seinfeld's brother?
look at this cast.
Ray Romano.
Ray Romano
Is that Ray?
kills it.
Look, he looks so weird with that outfit on. I didn't even recognize him. That's a weird picture, and he's in the dark. All right, I didn't watch it. I'll watch it. I did
Yeah.
hear some fucked up reviews.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad I heard bad reviews before watching this because it really lowered my expectations, and I spent the whole time going, "This is so great." 'Cause I thought it was.
Why'd they say it was bad? What were they saying was bad about it? I just heard bad. Isn't that funny how easy you are to convince? Like, I really didn't look into it. I didn't ask my friends.
Right.
I was like, oh, someone said it's bad.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was good.
Oh,
I loved
look
it.
at Sebastian.
Sebastian kills it in this movie.
He plays the crazy Joe Gallo. That's
Oh,
almost
does he
the
really?
Opposite of the character you guys were saying. Like, he's such a nice guy.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
He's not silly at all in this movie. He plays a fucking badass, which is so cool. I love it when comedians have those contrasting characters.
Yeah. Well, Jim Carrey did that a lot, right? Jim Carrey played some crazy characters.
Yeah. The Cable Guy was still pretty funny.
It's still kind of funny, but it was real dark.
The Truman Show was a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a real good one. That is everybody's life now. Everybody with Instagram Live, that's their life now, you know?
That's a great movie to rewatch and look at all the little details, where all the little cameras are, why they're showing you things. The Truman Show's a smart, cool movie.
I just found out, I was looking into the guy that wrote it. He wrote some cool movies that we've talked almost similarly about, like Gattaca, like the topics of Gattaca.
Oh, wow.
That really cool movie, if you've never seen it, called Lord of War with Nicolas Cage, where he plays like an arms dealer. with
Yeah, I think I
badass.
saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage is going to play Joe Exotic. Hear
Oh,
about
I
that?
love it. I love it. They need to speed this up and just get it done. Figure out a
Oh,
way.
please, God. Please, God.
Put these
I just-
cameramen in hazmat suits and film it.
I just want Joe Exotic to be let out of jail. That's what I want. We need a season 2. Come on, Trump.
Let's go.
Pardon that dude. I'm not buying it. I think they railroaded him.
For sure. The guy admits it. That other zoo owner guy admits it.
Yeah. Yeah, he said they railroaded him, right?
Yeah.
It's all weird, man. Like, he definitely did a lot of stupid shit. You know? And he definitely terrorized that lady. But it seems like she might have killed her husband, too.
Yeah.
Like, that seems like that's a possibility.
They need to open that case.
Well, it seems like
It's the only thing everybody on that show agrees on.
once someone just disappears like that, is that really the picture?
Oh, someone photoshopped it from
Someone- well, that's hit Nicolas Cage from a long time ago,
yeah,
son.
yeah, but
He doesn't look that
looks
good right
pretty
now.
good.
Yeah, that's probably 15, 20 years old. That's crazy. He's going to be perfect for that role. Remember him in Raising Arizona? Fucking great, man.
So good.
He was great in that movie. That is a great movie. That's a fun fucking movie. Raising Arizona.
Con Air. Right.
Was that what it's from?
I think that's
Con
next year
Air.
where you- yeah.
The world of blockbuster movies. What a weird world that must be, being one of them guys.
I can't wait to see that. I wonder how they're going to play that or write that.
See, it's not going to be as good as the real thing.
Right.
Let him out of jail.
Yep.
Come on, get together all your Netflix money.
Yep.
Hire a good lawyer. Let him out of jail.
He was just impossible to stop watching.
He feels bad, and he won't do it again. Let him out. Let him out, and let's see what kind of straight guys he can convert. The guy must be some sort of hypnotist.
Heck yeah, he's like a gay guy and a homophobe at the same time. He has a gun, toting a gun. He's got his own zoo. He's a tough guy in the middle of Oklahoma that is gay as hell.
Bro, he held it together when that cat was dragging him by his foot. He pulled off his gun and he shot and didn't even shoot the cat. He shot and shot away from the cat.
Yeah.
Like that is a person who knows how to handle shit under pressure
In front of a camera.
in front of a camera.
You can almost hear him say, "Goddamn lying if they weren't filming this."
He's got to be aware of how famous he is right now, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he really knows. He probably has an idea, but he's not out, right? If he was, I bet the guards taunt him, "Hey, bro, you're like the most famous guy in America, and here's your fucking lunch." Just slides over some terrible meatloaf.
Yeah.
Got him in solitary. I don't know, man. She had a husband that just disappeared, and she conveniently left him, or he conveniently left her, rather, the whole business, all the money, all of his documents had been altered previous to his death. Like, there's so much of it that you're like, what? And she has like 100 tigers.
Crazy.
Whatever. That's not even, I mean, the guy's missing. She's devastated.
Yeah.
Can you imagine your wife chopping you up, feeding you to a fucking pit full of tigers? Like a Conan movie.
What better way to get rid of a body, really?
Pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, pigs wouldn't leave any of it. Maybe, cats might do it too eventually. They might chew through the bones. I wonder if they do that. Wolves definitely do. Wolves chew right through bones, which is really crazy if you think about it. Like, they're chewing through like a moose bone.
Yeah. The Tiger Park reopened over the weekend to
Congratulations.
large crowds.
GW Zoo?
Of course.
Yeah.
Really?
It's fucking huge now. It's like, it's a reality show.
I saw an article where the lady that got her arm bitten off in that documentary.
It's a man, you piece of shit.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. You just misgendered her.
I apologize to the zookeeper there.
Look, everyone, Tony's been under a lot of stress. He's been trapped at
That's
home.
true.
He hasn't done stand-up in 6 weeks. He didn't mean it.
But I saw an article that just came out yesterday that said that she thinks the zoos shouldn't open because the tigers could give it to each other. Like, they don't have a way of distancing the tigers.
LOL.
And I thought to
Do
myself,
they even know if it goes to tigers?
that's I mean, there was one thing that said that it did, that one tested positive.
I wonder how it affects them.
Yeah.
Maybe they just carry it and it doesn't affect them.
I don't know.
Well, I was telling you, Jamie. Well, we were talking about this before. The different groups of people that in the weirdest way are asymptomatic. That thing that I sent you, did I send that to you, Jamie? Let me pull it up. One of them was about, I think it was a meat packing plant, and they had some insane number of employees tested positive, all of them asymptomatic. Let me see. I know I have it in here somewhere. If you just give me a second, I'll find it.
I got a pork plant in Missouri.
Yes,
that the one?
that's exactly where it is. And that's the place, Missouri just opened up concerts. They're like, let's do it, woo! So, so here it is.
Interesting.
370 workers at a pork plant in Missouri tested positive for coronavirus. All of them were asymptomatic. All of them.
That is the work of a boss that gets everybody to work and tells them all to lie. You never had any symptoms,
That could be true, huh?
right?
That's possible. That's totally possible. That's totally possible. Yeah, you got to take that into consideration.
We're all getting in trouble.
But if they were all there and they tested them, would they have been able to tell if any of them were exhibiting any symptoms? Yeah, that might be a thing, right? They might be influenced to not say it. It's hard to say. Yeah, when you look at something that's a good point. You nailed it there, dude. When you look at something that's that wild, like all of you,
Yeah.
no one felt anything and still worked.
If not, we all need to move to
Yeah.
Missouri.
Right. Huh. Yeah, you can't tell, right? You can't tell. Like, you can't just say. And the other one was prisoners. There was a group of prisoners that, I'll see if I can find it. I'll pull that article up for you. A group of prisoners, and they tested them, and some insane number, like 96% of them.
98%. Yeah,
98?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
98% tested. But
98% were asymptomatic. So I was thinking about this, and God, I forget who I was talking to this about this. They were talking. I think it was Kyle Klinsky. We were talking about your immune system. That your immune system, when you're in a place like a prison, is probably super strong because there's so many people around you. You're always interacting with all this different bacteria. Whereas if you just like live by yourself in an apartment, like you've quarantined for these 5 weeks, and then you're going to go back out into the world, your immune system is like your cardiovascular system. It's like you don't use it. So because you don't use it, it's weak.
Right.
Your cardiovascular system, if you're exercising all the time, you boost your capacity.
Yeah.
And he was thinking that like that's probably what it's like in prison too. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Like we would think the prison would be really unhealthy. And it probably is for your mind, but for your body because you're getting shitty food. But for your immune system, it might actually be quite a workout, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're getting enough nutrition, they probably have to feed them some sort of balanced diets, right? I mean, I would imagine. How bad do you think prison food is?
Pretty bad. Pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Like, are there requirements? What kind of nutrition they have to provide to them?
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Like, how bad? I mean, it must be terrible. Who's complaining? Like, if they're complaining, this food sucks. Like, no one's hearing you, bro.
Yeah.
You're inside a cage. You don't get a cell phone. You don't get nothing. You get to go outside and make calls that last like 7 minutes. And then you get to put more coins in, do it again. And you stand there in the hallway having these conversations, these once-a-week conversations with your friends.
Crazy. Crazy.
What's fucked up about prison is, like, I don't think it works. You know, it's like, I don't want to compare people to dogs, but I'm gonna. We've talked about this before, that, like, if you get a dog, and I've rescued dogs that were just, they were older and they'd seen too much shit. And by the time you get to them, they're all fucked up. You know, they growl at people, they snap at people. Like, you got a rescue dog that wants to bite people, you can't. You know, you want a puppy so that when you raise the puppy, you can teach the puppy that you love it and this is family and everybody's cool, and you got to listen to the rules though. You can't shit in the house, you can't, and then you teach it, and then it becomes like this. I think in a way it's really hard to train an older dog. I know some people are experts at it, but I think they just don't want to learn, and their life has just been fucked over by people. And you know, if you get a 7-year-old, 8-year-old pound dog that's been abused, like, ugh. Fuck that poor dog. They don't want, and it's almost like with some humans, the abuse that life throws at us from the time you're young, you're kind of like trying to deal with it as you get older and maybe fix yourself and try to like balance your own self out. But every now and then you'll forget how easy you have it in comparison to some people. Like, if you see some people's lives where it's just poverty and crime, and like fucking everyone around them was either a criminal or on drugs, and it's like fucking everywhere you look you see despair, you don't see any happiness. For someone to come through that, to have the same expectations as they have someone who came through even like my childhood, which was not that bad. My childhood was a little weird, but it wasn't bad. No one was abusive to me. When someone's abusive to you, and then all of a sudden you find yourself, you're 32 and you're trying to get your shit together, but you have visions of being raped or beaten by your uncles, and you know, whatever the fuck it is that's inside your head that just like all day defines you.
Yeah.
It's so hard for people to turn gears, you know? It's so hard for people that have just said, you know what, I'm just gonna numb myself with pills. I'm just gonna, like those guys, I'm just gonna numb myself. It's so hard for those guys to get out of that. Right. It's so hard to go, no, I'm gonna run every day and eat healthy food, and I'm gonna drink only water. That's hard. That's way harder than just taking oxys. So many people just want to slide. And if you meet a guy and he's like 31 and he's taking oxys, like, how much can you change him? Like, you almost want, you have to be so driven to change yourself. And a lot of people just aren't.
Yeah, it's hard to do that stuff if you're not in the routine of doing that anyway. Exercise and drink water.
Just be healthy. Go
Yeah.
to sleep early. It's hard. It's fucking hard to do. It's hard to not be self-destructive.
Yeah.
But with people, the crazy thing is sometimes they can do it. Sometimes you can get a guy who's 32, hooked on heroin, and then 10 years later he's running marathons and writing books and super positive, eating healthy, and now he has a family and he's a different person. That does happen too. That's the thing about people. It's like some of us get through, like, how many people run 100 miles? Not many, but I know like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's not that many, but some people do it. And I almost think like getting your shit together is a lot like running 100 miles. Like, everyone can do it if you just force yourself to do it. But it's fucking hard to run 100 miles. I can only imagine how hard. I've never done it.
Right.
I would imagine fucking hard to run 100 miles. Well, it's fucking hard to get your life together too.
Yeah.
Both things are hard, but some people do them. Less people run 100 miles than get their shit together though. So it seems to be easier than running 100 miles by my measurements.
Yeah.
Still hard though. It's fucking hard. It's hard to run a mile.
For sure.
Tell people to run a mile. Most people are just like, what? A mile? No problem. Bitch, go run a mile. Go run a mile. Not shuffle. Not little. No, I want you to move your body. I want you to spring, bounce. Let's keep going. 1 mile.
It's hard.
It's not easy.
And it changes depending on anything as easy as your last meal.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, dude.
You get a bowl of spaghetti and try to go for a run.
Especially like meatballs. Those
so
breaded meatballs. Oh my God.
That's another thing I've gotten better at during this
Cooking?
quarantine. Oh, dude.
I gotta give you some elk.
Yes, absolutely. Please do.
All I want is pictures. Take pictures.
For sure.
Take some food porn for me.
Absolutely. Ready to go. I actually fucking there's this farmer's market right by where I live.
Oh,
the
nice.
original LA farmer's market. And so they have like multiple butcher shops. And I was going to different ones when this whole thing first started and trying out different things and different combinations of basically remaking each week my mom's meat sauce, which is different than a regular sauce that has meatballs and this and that. Anyway, and I kept testing out these different concoctions, and one time I nailed it and it really tasted like hers. And I went back to that butcher shop and did it again, and I said to the guy, I go, yeah, that stuff I made last week came out just like my mom's. And he goes, where are you from? I said Youngstown. And it turns out that butcher shop was and is from originally there, and that it is the same. It's basically the same stuff. It's all the same, like meat or cut or whatever they do or how they do it was the same thing. So
what are you putting in your sauce? Like, how do you do it when you say meat sauce? Are you using ground beef? Are you using
a percentage of ground beef, basically like 50% ground beef, 25% hot ground up Italian sausage, and 25% pork.
Wow, you have a formula.
Oh yeah, baby. And it's been something that I've been tweaking here and there. It comes out fucking good now.
So you're getting all the food, all the meat from this one place?
Well, I get my sausage and my pork from there and the ground beef from the other place. I have it all figured out now, too.
So you're like getting deep into this shit.
Oh yeah.
What else are you cooking?
Well, I mean, really, I'm a big sucker for pasta, so it's like a lot of different types of sauces and experimentations, like vodka sauce, like a pinker sauce, and
do you think people hate you because you're so slim and beautiful and yet you eat pasta all day?
I mean, if they only knew how much pasta
You eat a lot?
I eat so much pasta, it's crazy. I eat pasta like a fucking one of those TLC shows where like people can't get out of bed without eating pasta. I am an 800-pound man in this fucking toothpick body.
You're a great eater. When we do shows, when we have shows, you eat like a motherfucker. Dude.
I'm
You
always
eat a lot
proud of
food.
myself when I take down more than you. I'm always like, yeah, I'm a real fucking man. I'm a man.
You know who could eat us both on the table? Who could literally eat the same amount as both of us would eat? Ari Shafir at Fogo de Chao, because it's like it's not free. You need to pay, but
Right.
it's all you can eat. I should have said.
to get my money's worth.
Well, for him, I'm serious. If the food keeps coming, he's gonna keep eating.
Yeah.
If it doesn't cost anything, because it's green when you want to go, like when you want to keep. They come around with these plates full of all this crazy meats and sausages and chicken legs and all this different stuff, and they just keep coming. And you can just take as much as you want, and then when you got to tap out, you flip your coin over to red.
He's so cheap, he takes that coin with him at the end.
Ari just eats. He just eats. It's crazy. We're stunned afterwards. Everyone's sitting around. Joey Diaz is done. I'm done. Duncan's done. We're staring at him. He's like, I'm not going to stop. Why should I stop? They're going to keep bringing it.
Yeah.
If you keep bringing it, I'm going to keep eating it.
So
Fuck it.
good.
He just kept chowing. Like a wolf. Yeah. Like he's filling himself up.
That's the food. I'll feel more of an impact by eating a couple pounds of meat like that than I will from all the pasta in the
That's
world.
interesting.
Fogo de Chao slows me down for the evening. I've learned that if I have Fogo de Chao for lunch, I don't do it on a night where I have to work, which is obviously most nights, but now not. But anyway, that's the one that would affect me, is just a lot of meat.
See, for me, it's totally the opposite.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, like when I love pasta too, man. I love it. It's so good.
Oh God,
It's so good.
there's so many different kinds too, and they
I
all do
love it.
different things. Like angel hair is great for some things.
You know what I
and
like? There's this twisty pasta. It's like long like spaghetti,
Yeah.
but it's thicker. Like so the tube's thicker, and it's like spirally.
It's long.
Yeah. It's long like a spaghetti.
Wow, but
I wish I knew the
twirly
name of
like
it.
a rotini.
Yeah. But twirly all the way down. like spaghetti that's twirly. It's so good.
How
I got
long?
It from,
like that long?
Like a real piece of spaghetti,
Wow,
like a
that's
normal piece of
crazy.
spaghetti. Yeah, dude, it's actually probably a little longer. I get it from Italy. So I bought like a couple of cases of it on Amazon. I'm so addicted to it.
Yeah, I want to know what that is. The world needs
I'll
long,
send you a photo of it afterwards. But
long rotini.
it comes in like this yellow package. That's exactly what it looks like. Fusilli longhi. Long pot. So it's long fusilli. It's so good, dude. So what I like to do, if I eat domestic animals, particularly, this is how I like to. A lot of times when if I have ribeye with spaghetti, I'll cook the ribeye and get it like like just about medium rare, and then I slice that bitch up and drop it into the tomato sauce. Just a couple more minutes. Just get it all in there, get all that juice in there, and then dump these big thick slices of ribeye with tomato sauce on that Italian pasta.
Yeah.
Oh, I can get fat.
Yes.
Get so fat.
And it's beautiful. Sometimes you can put the pasta, you make your pasta. Some pastas are better put in the sauce directly.
Yeah.
And some are better, obviously, keeping them separated. And some absorb the sauce. And some of them you cook longer in the sauce, and some of them you don't.
See, this resonates with everybody. Delicious pasta resonates with everybody. That's why so many women were mad when Adele lost all that weight.
Yes.
They're like, no, bitch, I don't want to give up on this fucking pasta.
Yeah.
I was with you when you were big.
Yeah.
See, there's a new photo of her.
Yeah, no, I saw it this morning,
Did you see
and
the controversy?
first thing I knew, literally the first thing that I thought of the second my eyes laid on that picture, I'm like, this is going to be crazy because people are going to say in these comments that she's beautiful, and that's going to be hilarious because you're basically saying that she wasn't beautiful before by saying that she's beautiful now in a weird way. They're sort of insinuated, and I didn't even realize until 2 hours or an hour later after I had woken up that it became like this like news story. So it's just funny to me because like it's like, is her voice the same, right? Because that's what matters.
Well, it's funny in that why wouldn't you want to applaud someone who did something that's really difficult to do and is now healthier?
Yeah.
If you are an Adele fan, wouldn't you want her to be healthier? Wouldn't you? I mean, you want her to be able to keep singing for longer, right? You love her. You want her to be healthier. You don't want her to get. One of the main things they found in New York City about people that caught COVID-19 that was a real problem was obesity. Big problem. She was at one point in time much larger, and now she's like really slim. And people are mad and saying, this is what they're saying, I don't want her to be applauded for losing weight as if it's some wording like this. Like that, I don't want to adhere to these beauty standards, that she's better looking because she lost weight. But she is.
Yep.
And you know that. The only reason why anybody would want to fight against that when so many people overwhelmingly think she looks better is because they don't want to look at themselves. It's that simple. They don't want to change. And they want you to they're trying to bully you into deciding they're beautiful if they're 210 pounds.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is. It's like we're redefining beauty standards. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't decide that the way you look is what everybody should like. That's crazy. You can't do that. And if people have decided worldwide that fitter, healthier bodies are more attractive, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
That's what you can't. It's not redefining beauty standards. The beauty standards come from what people are attracted to. Yeah, it's not fair. You're right. It's not fair. A lot of shit in life's not fair.
Yep.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
If you choose to stay big, that is your choice. I know it's a difficult choice to try to move your body down and lose weight and get healthy. We already talked about that. We were just talking about it. But you can't say that it's unattractive when someone has a good body, because it is. So if someone has a better body than they used to have, it looks better.
Enemy UAV overhead.
So that's what a beauty standard is. This is what people are attracted to when it comes to bodies. They're attracted to fit bodies. That's not a shame. That's not a bad thing. Like the idea that this is somehow or another that's something we need to avoid and putting undue pressure on people. It's nonsense. It looks great. If it's pressure on you because other people look great, Well, what do you do with that pressure? Do you decide to be better, better yourself, take care of yourself better? Do you decide that it's not worth as much to you to worry about what your body looks like, and you're more concentrated on maybe art or whatever the fuck else? That's fine too.
Yeah.
But you can't be mad at people that put a lot of energy in that direction and look better.
Right.
Because she looks better. It's not a bad thing.
And isn't saying that everybody's body is beautiful no matter
crazy.
what, doesn't that make it like worse for the people with ugly faces? You know what I mean? Because like then they're more part of just a smaller group. Like if there's some lady that has like her eyes are on like the side of her head.
But she has a banging body.
Right.
She still gets action.
Yeah, I guess.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
Come on, she's hot.
Well,
Dude, men don't care that much.
where your eyes are.
It's beauty standards are just what are people attracted to? And people are generally attracted to people that are healthier. That's just a physical thing. That's a part of, and we're only talking about attractive, like sexual attraction, right? We're not saying, you know, if you're 20 or 30 pounds overweight, like you look horrible and I don't want to look at you. Like I have a lot of friends that are fat, but it is what it is. It's just, it is what it is.
And maybe they'll find somebody that's into that.
But you can't like decide that people are going to change what they're attracted to. That's silly. You can't do that. Like, they are attracted to people that put out more effort. They're attracted to people that have the strength to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym before work. There's something really hot about that. It's attractive.
Yeah.
It's attractive, someone who takes care of themselves. It is. It just is. Now, it might not be to you, but that's why the world's beautiful, because we can all have different things that we like and different things we don't like. But when a giant chunk of people are into this one thing, like nice bodies, it doesn't mean that it's all shallow or terrible or it's somehow or another demeaning to people that don't adhere to those standards. No, it's a competition. There's some sort of